So I've been planting onions like this for a while now, waiting for them to grow some roots out. And you can see it does pretty well. And then I'm taking them and planting them into the garden. I was putting them in some tin cans. So I plant them in the garden. You can kind of see, it looks like that. And they're sprouting, they're growing up like this. So I'm thinking, yay, I'm getting onions from old ones that we bought from the store. But what is happening is that they're growing into clusters. You can kind of see there's a tiny cluster right here, but there's another. I think what I'm getting is the first year growth. And so if I really want large onions, I'm gonna have to replant each of these individual bulbs. So like here's one. I probably need to dig it up. You can see where the roots have pretty much finished growing this year and the stem is starting to die. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna dig down in here and go ahead and set that bulb deep in the ground where I still have some neck left on it. Kind of see a little bit of a stem left right here. And hopefully, since onions are a biennial, did I say that right? Plant, that this will grow into a larger onion next year. And my goal is to turn this whole bed just into onions. I kind of overdid it, thinking that I would plant a whole bunch of different crops in here, but I just need to keep it simple. And I'm just gonna do onions right here. But I've got a lot of onions that I'm gonna have to split up and then bury. Planted this onion yesterday. I'm just gonna open up a spot here and have my container of onions with the roots growing. So I'm gonna set this guy right in there. Take my spoon, just gonna dig around a little bit. Maybe throw out these clods and the rock. Just making sure there's some loose soil. Stick the roots down gently, and then take my handy dandy water bottle here and saturate the whole area so that the roots get covered in water and dirt. Go ahead and water this one again. Pack in around it just a little bit. Make sure those roots have some dirt to grab onto. One more time with some water. And then I'm going to cover it back up to keep that moisture retained in the soil. So I planted some green onions right here, just out of my small container that I had. Just going to put them in a bigger area so they'll grow a little bit better. And put them in some soil that I bought, cover them up with some straw. Over here you can see the onions that we've trying to reharvest from the kitchen. They all had some decent roots on them. I planted them out here and I'm going to cover them up with some straw now. This will be the first growing, so I won't actually get any onions out of these. It'll be the second time I plant them that the onions will actually pop up. So I'm pretty sure this is first year growth. And so what I'm doing is digging a hole and bury it, cover it back up, and hope that it grows. What I have here is a collection of bulbs that I believe, you can see how big they are, they're not huge. What I've grown is the first cycle. So these are bulbs that I think I'm going to try to replant, and then they'll grow into larger onions. Regrowing from kitchen scraps isn't exactly a science or anything that I could find online, so this is the best guess that I have right now, is that I've used the bottoms to regrow bulbs, and then the bulbs will be replanted and they will grow into larger onions and probably even give me some seeds at some point. This is an example of onions that I planted from leftover kitchen scraps, and you can see it's divided up into 2 new onions. I'll pull those out of the ground and replant them separately, but that's what's happening. I've not bought any onion seed since I started this project, and I will probably never buy onion seed again. But you can see there's lots of little onions in here. There's another example, one that I planted a while back. Looks like that one has 4 onions in it, if my math is correct. Another one here, need to drop that one in the ground somewhere.